This is the video podcast for your daily dose. And this is Dr. Eric dictating, video conferencing from the car tonight because I had a podcast that I did, and it was supposed to be 1 hour and ran into 2 hours. But nevertheless, I don't want to miss one day of coming to you in an attempt to and thank you very much, Kit. Thanks for waiting. I just came out of my podcast, and as soon as the podcast is complete, being edited and what have you, I did it for one of my buddies that basically was in a network marketing group with me, and he has moved to, again, help people. How do we help people? How do we get this done? So this is being done from the car tonight. I pulled over to the side of the road, so I'm safe. I'm not Zooming or Facebooking while I'm traveling. But good evening to you. And we want to talk a little bit tonight about, I guess I can talk about what I did on the podcast. They wanted to know, good evening, Brian, okay? They wanted to know about my book, The Flow of Life, Keeping Your Dream Alive. And how I got started doing it and writing it, and who were the people that intersected in my life to help make a difference. Each of you here on this podcast are intersecting my life now, and you come on every night to hear a little bit of wisdom that I can bestow upon you. And let me tell you that we are continuously searching the literature to find out how we can do this better. And that's what I'm doing. Is vitamin CBD is being formulated by a physician, and that's just to say that that's with the medical interest in mind. Medical interest is the absolute component, and where I have been for over half of my life. I've been involved in medicine, and I think that we have some great opportunities with vitamin CBD to make a difference. I have done some prognosticating and some suggestions that I believe the future of the cannabinoids and its effects, the effects that we have on the body, are going to be emphasized over the course of the next couple of years. Because what has happened is that we've been in a moratorium because of the criminalization of a whole species. So we're going to be continuously looking at opportunities. I told you that CBD was the big rage to start the 20th century, and then the 21st century, and then it has moved to CBDA. I've showed you my results and how fortunate I think that I've been able to get vitamin CBD two-path to a point where it has been very, very effective. I got a phone call, I think I told you yesterday, I got a phone call from a gentleman. There you are, Susan. Good evening. Okay. And Cody, nice. Thank you very much. Cody was the architect of tonight's podcast, and he is a good brother that basically is interested in the sake and good of our public welfare. That's how big his heart is. And thank you very much for allowing me to do your podcast tonight. And we will now move and wait for that big editing job that you're going to do. But anyway, let me go back. That tonight, what we talked about is my book, The Flow of Life, Keeping Your Dream Alive. We talked about, how I got involved with the whole cannabis industry because of the death rates of the opioids. I saw a need and have been giving out certificates for the last 8 years. Certificates that will allow people to use cannabis as an alternative to the traditional medicines. And during that period of time, during that 5-year sojourn prior to me growing, the hemp that HCI grew, I realized that CBD was going to be bigger than THC. And even though I was the medical director of a THC company, I still believed that very much so that I was going to be bigger, that CBD was going to be bigger than THC. And it's coming to pass now that that's to be very true. And mainly because it's easy to get licensure to study CBD. CBD is easy to study because it doesn't have the side effects of THC. And THC has obstructed the study and plant cannabis sativa L for a long time. So the objective of your daily dose is to show you that you do need your daily dose of vitamin CBD. Why? Our mantra: have you had your daily vitamin CBD today to help reduce your chronic low-grade inflammation to support your immune system? And this is all about the immune system because it basically triggers many of our other responses in our body. If we can't fight the infections that come into our body, then the infections will fight us, and they will overcome us. So we have to have a strong immune system. As I told Cody tonight, that AARP is trying to pay attention to the fact that we have been 50 years of change in our immune system because of things like Roundup. Roundup is a glyphosate that has been classified and determined to be carcinogenic. I explained tonight on the podcast that I was doing was that we have a lot of helper cells, cells that interact and try to reduce the effect of these foreign bodies. We have T cells, we have B cells, we have macrophages, we have lymphocytes, okay, we have monocytes. All of these things help to act as a defense mechanism in our immune system. So we need to keep a strong immune system for viruses and bacteria. I told you about CBG, which is the master precursor. Let's call it from now on, let's call CBG the master precursor. And I say that because that precursor of CBG creates the three most common cannabinoids that we know of at this point in time. Now, there's so much research going on that I'll be able to bring you something new every night, just because that's how fast the equation is moving. So I really appreciate each of you coming on. If each of you can share this video, if each of you can like this video, it will continue to expand. All right. On one of the websites, I think we now have 1,400 followers. We want to grow that to 5,000 and then to 10,000. And we want to, this is bigger than me. This is not about me. This is much bigger. My job is to elementary teach everybody that's listening and wants to listen to some basic rudimentary facts so that they can know what to do. I explained tonight in my podcast that I did is that the search engine optimization, if you put in CBD oil, you might be getting hemp seed oil. And if you get hemp seed oil, that's salad dressing. And so you really have to know what you know, and you don't know what you don't know. And my job over the course of the last 217 days is to give you just tidbits of information so that you can make good comprehensive decisions. Okay, that's decision making is so very important about what we do and how we do it. And so that's why I stopped on the side of the road tonight to say hello and to keep our continuum going. We want to continue to educate you. So I want you to come back tomorrow and see what else I've learned in the process. It was an interesting day, and you don't get discouraged by some. We had a little pitfall this morning that we showed up. We showed up 9 to 9. We showed up 8 hours early for the podcast, but we didn't. And that's after a 45-50 minute drive. But we didn't let that bother us. And what we did is we utilized every minute going back home to intersect with other people And I was able to pick up 4 new orders. Because why? Because I didn't let something create a stumbling block. I used it not as a problem, but as an opportunity. And I have informed 4 more stores of what we have, and 2 of those have placed orders, and I'll get them out tomorrow. Plus 2 more customers came in tonight asking for their refills. Every refill, every person that comes back and asks again, you know darn well it works. So I am just super pleased. We're going into to more dispensaries. We're going into more shops. We're going into more pharmacies. So all of this is working, and we have to keep working at it. You have to be persistent. Thank you very much for your persistence tonight and waiting for me to come on, because I was about 15 minutes late just getting it all done. So please and thank you very much. Have a good night. God bless. Godspeed. Okay, and out.